Transformers, Galvatron transports Cybertron itself into Earth's orbit. There, he opens the deadly plasma energy chamber and the sun begins to go nova. While on the distant planet Nebulos, the fate of the Autobots, Cybertron, and Earth hangs in the balance. But who will survive the most titanic Transformer battle ever? Find out in the earth-shattering conclusion of The Transformers Rebirth. The Transformers will return after these messages.
Hey guys, welcome back for today's unboxing video. Transformers. I've teased this in the previous couple of videos already. I had two pretty huge ones coming up. This is going to be the first one of two, and the box you're seeing, which is blocking the full range of the camera right now, is the one that I'll be unboxing in the next video. And this one is really massive. It's gonna be the biggest one I have so far, I'm pretty sure. If I judging by the description of the robot. The one which I will be unboxing today is this one, which is actually upside down. And if you have somewhat of an idea of which models there are and which types of robots, manufacturers, etc., you probably already know what this one is going to be. If you don't know all that, you'll find out in a couple of minutes. So the manufacturer is SIYANG Cultural, and the model name is Y-C002. And let me just unbox it. And then take it out of the exterior shipping box. This one was purchased through AliExpress, as most of my robots are, and this one cost me somewhere around 150 euros, which I think is more than worth it. But yeah, like for the size of this robot, 150 euros, you sometimes, for the same amount of money, you get a robot which is 25 centimeters. And this one is going to be like 40 centimeters, 45 centimeters. So that's like twice as big for the same price. I had been eyeing this one for quite some time. From the same manufacturer, I recently got a Metroplex, which was pretty amazing. That I really like that one. And this one is sort of in the same category, even though in the cartoon this one was a lot bigger, I think, than what Metroplex was supposed to be, but not entirely sure about that. I'm gonna push it through. Here we go. So what it is SCORPONOK. And if you're not familiar with the character, he's like the city type, huge ass transformer who's also a headmaster, and his model name is Heidelberg Base Fortress. So he can basically change into, is that displayed on the box somewhere as well, probably on the back side. Well, okay, so you got a robot mode, you got a scorpion mode, and you got a city mode, which is not displayed on the box. So let me just open this up and take everything out. Actually, I'm gonna stand up for this one. So yeah, you can see him in his box right now. Couple of accessories. One thing which I noticed from the pictures, which I was not really a fan of, is this gun. I think it looks very simplistic and cheap, especially for such a huge gun. They could have made something really cool looking out of it. Don't really like the orange that much. This is the least interesting part of the whole toy. We got like his helmet. For, I pretty sure that, yeah, this is the headmaster. Not sure what his name was. I thought it was like something like Zarek or something. Not sure about that. Pretty simplistic transformation, most likely. Probably gonna have to tuck the arms in there somewhere. And so yeah, this turns out to be the face. Probably gonna have to push it in here somehow, so we can be his full form. I'm not sure what this is. Probably some kind of car thing, which can ride around when in his base mode. Also, probably a pretty simplistic transformation. And I'm not even expecting SCORPONOK to be that hard to transform, but we'll see how that goes. You also get this, which is a sort of a shield, which you can put on his arm. I'm not sure if it has any other function than that. And then the robot itself. And let me just put this back in the box. And then below the box there were these little accessory things. Just take a quick look at what all that is about. So the Metroplex one had all kinds of electronics you had to install for all the lights to work on him, which is something they did not do for this one, I don't think, which is kind of sad because I really like the whole lighting effect gimmick thing. So what you get with this figure is some kind of miniature face thing. I'm not sure what that is all about. Maybe you can change this around. Seems like it. Yes, that seems to be the case indeed. So take this off and swap it around for this. Don't really like what that looks like. I guess I'll be going for this version of the face. Yeah, I don't really like what that looks like. This looks a bit better. But yeah, I'm not even, shouldn't be an issue of which one I'll be going for, because I'm going to be using it in the big face anyway. So yeah, we get these parts, which are all decoration, I think, for the final SCORPONOK. I'm not sure if I'll be using those. I'm gonna have to see what it all looks like in the end. Also probably decoration parts. Another green one. And then some translucent ones, which might be cool looking. We have some miniature bots on there as well. I'm not entirely sure which ones they are supposed to portray, but seems to be Magnus, but that's kind of weird. And this seems to be Galvatron. Like I said, not sure about that. And then all these things, which I don't know what they are for. I gotta look up the manual for that. Speaking of which, I have not found a manual yet, so that's kind of interesting. And then you get all these kinds of guns, which you can obviously use in city mode, probably in Scorpion and in robot mode as well. And that leaves us with this huge beast of a transformer. This is only his upper legs, the chest and the arms, because we got some extra legs right here. Holy moly. What's this all about? So I guess I'm gonna have to be looking into the headmaster, because I'm thinking about transforming him from robot into Scorpion and then leave it at that for this video, and then do the base thing at the end of the video, so you guys can still see what it looks like. But there's this part of not sure how his legs work. I'm supposed to open this up or something. I do see a hinge here. I think I'm gonna have to open this up right here. Take this out or something. Yeah, okay, so. Now normally I would be changing the camera angle and put it a little bit lower, but for this guy I'm probably gonna keep it like this, because it's so massive. And and I'll probably be transforming him somewhere around here, so that should all be visible. So yeah, like this guy is a very big, very cool. I'll be going into the articulation before I start transforming it, of course. But let me just take a look at the headmaster part and see what that looks like. Okay, so what it looks like is you're gonna have to flip open the chest part, then push these things inside like so. And I'm just doing this without a manual, which I generally do with the transformations, but there's no way for me to check if it's actually done properly. Click the feet or the legs together. The legs do have this little pivot hinge to be able to display him with his legs spread wide like this. So that's pretty nice for such a small guy. So yeah, tap them together and then fold them over like so, I think. And then I think I gotta put the chest plate back into these little slots right here, but it doesn't really fit all that well. Maybe do them one after the other. It doesn't seem to work that well. But yeah, we got something resembling a face now, and then I have to push this in. Then it should fit into the helmet, I think. I'm expecting somehow. Maybe push this back or something. I would prefer to take off the visor. I'm gonna look into that if that's possible or not, because I don't like the visor look, but to each their own. Let me just see how that works. Okay, so the helmet part, you can open this lid up. So I was thinking maybe you can slide it in from the top, but it seems to be blocked here a little bit as well. Can't really get it to pass through. And so I'm not sure about all of that. Okay, so I think I got it figured out now. You can take his glasses off, actually, like so. And then I'll be probably able to push it through. I hope. Like so. And then push the glasses back on. If it's been pushed through enough, I'm not sure about that. Maybe a little bit more upwards. Probably do it. Yeah, okay, so we got his face on. Yeah, I don't like the glasses. I'll probably be taking them off and use this face like this. And then connecting it to the top part. Maybe that's what the other face is for, because it feels a little bit more sturdy. Probably what the other face is for, because it feels to slide in there a little bit better. Yeah, okay, so that does actually feel like it's working well. So let me just, what's that? I have no idea. So let me just put him down like this. Nope. So this is what his top part looks like with a big claws, and it's huge. So yeah, so his face can turn around if it's actually plugged in with the different face, which I just showed you guys. So you can plug it in all the way, and then it locks into place somehow a little bit, and then you can actually turn it on this little rotating disc. There is little to no head movement on this guy apart from twisting it around, which is a little bit sad. It would have been better if they had actually put a mechanism in here. I'm not sure if there is, but I'll figure it out. Because there are these little latches here, or pins, sort of flat pins, which are locking into place as well on the rotating disc. So I don't think there's any movement upwards, downwards, no wobble. You can force it a little bit, but it doesn't look right. Just has to be pushed down all the way, I think, in robot mode. And his arms can rotate, are supposed to rotate 360 around, but it's blocked a little bit by this part right here. But yeah, why would you be pushing the arm to the backside anyway? To the other way around, that does block it. That is a little bit sad, because that's a movement which I do use on my robots. Can move his shoulders up. It's not a double hinge, so you cannot outstretch it to the side. This is just the way it goes. Then we got an elbow ratchet, single jointed, and bicep rotation 360. The elbow goes 90 degrees. And then he got these big ass claws, which have 3 fingers, or sort of a thumb and 2 fingers, which are individually movable, so that's very nice. His fingers cannot go past this point in the other direction, so only inwards, but that should give you enough room to play with, I guess. So yeah, you can give him quite some cool looks, I guess. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. As for the lower part of this robot, it's ridiculous that you got to do it in two separate instances. So his torso can swivel around, but it's a little bit blocked by this part. But now it's not anymore. So his torso can move around. This is a full 360. Like, most of the joints are ratchets, which is very nice. Yeah, you can move his torso 360 around. There's this lid right here, which is probably mostly for oh, there's a battery in there as well. Isn't there? I just took a little bit of plastic out there, which generally blocks some battery from leaking. So, oh wait, we got something here. Switch. But the battery might not even be a battery in there. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to open it up to see about that. But there seems to be a battery in there. There's a little switch in here as well. And do we have other lids? We do. These are probably his scorpion legs. There's this little, on his chest, there's this little headmaster thingy as well. Like in the 80s G1 line, if you put a headmaster in here, it would show you the tech specs of the robot on a little display. They put that in there. It doesn't work, but it's still in there. So yeah, about that switch. Let's just take a look if there's actually battery in there. I seem to misplace my screwdriver, which is sad. Oh, I think I see it. Yeah, okay, so there's 3 batteries in here. I'm not sure why it's not working, but I'll have to replace that. And I'm not sure how far the electronics goes. It might light up here. There seems to be something in his translucent part in his visor or in his eyes as well, but there's no electronic connection there, so I'm not expecting that to light up. But maybe some other parts on his body. If there is, I will be showing it at the end of this video. Oh, that didn't really sound that well. But so yeah, I'm not sure what this is all about. I'll check it out and be sure to add it in the final video. Let me just screw it back up again. I wasn't expecting there to be any kinds of electronics in this guy actually, so that's a nice surprise. So yeah, okay, going back to the articulation. Torso rotation, his legs can go outwards to like a full split. There's a thigh rotation at the upper thigh, not on the hip. Going 360 around. And then there is a knee joint, which is double jointed. That's very nice. There's stuff going on. And then as far as toes and ankles, his ankle can move around inwards, and his toes can go up, but not downwards. Not even with this, no. So that's all the movement you get, which is more than enough, I think, to give him a dynamic pose. A couple of things which are too bad is the face not having any flexibility whatsoever apart from rotating around. His hip joints seem to be a little bit loosey. They could have had more tougher ratchets, I think. So as you just saw, he kind of falls through. But yeah, overall, I gotta say that this is a pretty cool figure. Can't really show you guys what you can do with him, but it looks really cool. The thigh joints are indeed a little bit loosey. Might be able to tighten it up with a screw. I'm not sure about that. I will be looking into it because I do think he needs a little bit more support. Yeah, okay, so that's it for the robot, I guess. I guess it's time to transform this monster. So yeah, I'm gonna take off his head first and then look into it. And I think the camera angle should be alright. So let's take a look. I did notice this part of his scorpion tail. Not sure how that's supposed to go. Okay, I just launched a thing like this. I have no idea where it came from. Okay, so now all of a sudden, because I can't seem to get the tail in the right direction, I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to turn everything around actually, so I'm not sure about that, but I am going to try it because it just doesn't seem right. Maybe it will look better if I actually push this around. Does it reach all the way to there? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem right either, but I'm still gonna try it. There actually do seem to be connecting points here. tail seems a bit too small right now. Somehow it does look a little bit better than what I had before, especially with these legs. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna leave it at this. I think I sort of got it done. The general transformation is done, I think. What I noticed is that for the head to plug in properly this way around, I had to take out the headmaster, which is a nice feature which you can put on top of Scorponok while he's attacking the Autobots in Scorpion mode. I've heard it before, but I do think the tail's a little bit short. It's maybe I can still extend it a little bit. I haven't found a way to do that yet, but that might be the case. I might be able to extend it a little bit more, but it doesn't reach that far over his legs, as you can see. It's a bit small. So yeah, there was this thing which ejected, I think. Okay, so you can put that in here and then actually eject it or something. Yeah, that actually works. So that's a projectile you get with them. You get two in case you lose one. So yeah, there's the transformation into Scorpion mode. The same applies for the claws, of course, regarding movability. You get these legs which you can position in all kinds of walking configuration. The tail, you can move it around a bit. Looks pretty cool to me. Like he's very massive, like he's really big. I like this. I like this one a lot. It did not disappoint, apart from maybe the movability of the face, of the head. That especially in robot mode, that's a little bit lackluster. I think they could have made something better out of that, but I might be overlooking something, so I will be looking into that. I will be transforming it back into robot mode because that's how I display my robots. There's one more thing which I should probably be covering, and that's the other figure you got along with this guy, which is this little dude. I have no idea. Oh, it seems like sort of a Nemesis Prime, I guess. That's weird. Look at the way it looks. Kind of resembles Nemesis Prime. So yeah, I have no idea what this one turns into. Sort of a car thingy. Maybe an airplane. No, he's got some wheels there. I have no idea how to transform this guy. I'm just gonna try it out a little bit. I don't really care for this guy that much. Maybe turn you around. It doesn't look like it at all. I have no idea what to do with this guy. Oh. The other one fell off as well. I'll just leave them off for now. So, yeah, you can open these up, apparently. Maybe that's used to create some room for the legs to flip over. Oh, they shift inwards, okay. Yeah, okay, so I have no idea what this guy is all about. Honestly, I don't really care for it. I might try and look it up on the internet, see what this one is about, and what mode he's actually supposed to take. Might display it in the end of the of this video to show you guys, but I honestly don't really care about this figure. To me, it was all about Scorponok, and maybe this guy, think his name was the RX or something like that. I don't remember really. But yeah, that's what I bought this for. This guy is just a little extra thing. Wait, maybe I should just position this guy here, something like that. And this is just an extra additional accessory thing. Be sure to check out the videos and the photos at the end of this video, where you can also see him in city mode, like a fortress mode. That's it for SCORPONOK, the Heidelberg Y-C002 from SIYANG Cultural. And hope you guys enjoyed this, and later.